Today we're going to be looking at 5 devices that earn huge money that you've never heard of. And you may be thinking, who are you? And sure they are, whatever. Well, hey, what's up? My name is Vosk, and I'm a full-time crypto miner, and I also really enjoy making videos. And that's kind of how the VoskCoin YouTube channel was born. This is all I do, so I spend a lot of time researching. I've been fortunate to develop a lot of connections over the years. With those connections, I don't have to trust, I can verify the legitimacy of these devices. What we're going to be looking at are custom computers that you plug into an outlet in your house, and they either support Wi-Fi or you plug an Ethernet cable into them to give them internet access, and they quite literally turn energy, electricity, into money, or really cryptocurrencies that are easily traded into money, fiat like the US dollar, if that's what you want. This is absolutely easy passive income. All of these miners earn drastically more than they cost to operate as far as the electricity goes, but they do come at a price. Let's dig into them. We're going to start off with the one that I think that has the absolute best and most fun name. Also, last week, somebody called me professor. You know what? I like that. Class in session. So let's check this out. It's called the Dragonball miner, right? And look, when I was a wee lad, DBZ inspired me. I wanted to get buff. I wanted to go fight for the right reasons. And to see a mining rig called a Dragonball miner is funny. They've named it the KS6, which is basically a one-up to competitor Kaspa ASIC miners, because those are called KS5s from 2 different brands. So if you don't know, just super quick, every device we're going to be looking at in today's video is technically going to be a cryptocurrency mining rig, and they will also be ASIC miners, application-specific integrated circuit miners. These are purpose-built machines that literally all they do is mine cryptocurrency. They are specialized, and because of their specialization, they are best in class or compete to be best in class as these devices. So we look at this device, right? And it looks like most other miners. And we look at the specs. This is, again, the Dragonball KS6. It mines Kaspa, the K-heavy hash mining algorithm, at 10.5 terahash a second, reportedly only consuming 3,400 watts. I'll be honest, offhand, at a glance, this looks like a relabeled IceRiver miner. But let me slap you in the face with something that's more interesting than stuff like that. How about the fact that it pulls in $37 a day after I pay my electricity bill of 10 cents per kilowatt hour? That means that it's earning $46 a day in Kaspa. It is earning or mining about 380 coins per day. This thing only cost me a little bit over $8 a day to run. You can utilize mining profitability calculators like this one I'm showing you here on what to mine to easily estimate your personal situation. Maybe you've got a better electric rate than me. Maybe you've got, hopefully not 8 cents per kilowatt hour. And maybe your fees are only going to be 1%. And you can also go and put in a hardware cost, and I'll show you how that breaks this down even more differently. So we look at this device, and at a 8 cent per kilowatt hour electricity rate and lower fees, you'd be pulling in about 397 coins, which equates to $47 or about $41 after you pay your electricity bill. With all these factors in mind, you would break even in 268 days. And that's the name of the game in mining, right? You have upfront capital cost, you grab a device, you earn, right? You pay for the electricity bill along the way. Eventually, hopefully, normally, you break even, right? So you have earned the initial capital back. And then I've also been able to account for the electricity bill. And then I'm just, being my own little mini government. I'm just printing money and laughing all the way to the bank, or hopefully the cold storage crypto wallet. So yeah, the Dragonball miner that came out of nowhere is going to be the first miner on our list. It is very expensive. Please be advised, I have not verified this to be the official website, but we do know and have worked with Jingle Mining, and they actually have a better price of about $10,000 on this machine in comparison. So don't get me wrong, 10 G's, it's a very expensive device. but it's also incredibly profitable. And what is the right price to make another 40 bucks a day? A couple of these could replace a day job pretty quickly if nothing changed, but of course everything's always rapidly evolving in cryptocurrency. But sometimes coins go up in price. People often focus on the downside and the negative, but many of my miners have become more valuable over time and actually maintain profitability from a USD point of view, even though they're mining less coins or even gone up. I'll talk a bit more about strategy at the end, but this is absolutely an interesting miner that I haven't really noticed people talking about. If you want to trade cryptocurrencies, that's great. How about leverage trading? Okay, cool. You want a bunch of different options beyond just trading, say, Bitcoin, like a bunch of the altcoins and, let's be honest, tokens and what some people call coins. And maybe you don't even want to do KYC. And it's not that you're doing anything bad, you just don't want to give all of your private information to some entity in another country. Then you may be looking for BYDFI. They are a cryptocurrency exchange that will facilitate your cryptocurrency trades as well as leverage trade. Learn more about them and get a bonus with our link out in the video description below. Let's look at another miner release that just came out. And I know I sound a little negative, but to be frank, I'm a little tired of so many new miners. It's crazy. We see more new miners right now than we've ever seen historically. But Goldshell out of nowhere came out with a 2.0 version of their KA Box. If you saw our previous video on that, it has been simply dubbed the KA Box Pro. They're pushing more juice to it. It's pretty funny. They've got another PCIe slot on it. But the bottom line here is that this is another Kaspa ASIC miner. So this is going to be miner number 2, and it is projected to cost around $2,000 to $2,700, depending where you order it. Here's ASIC Marketplace. You can save some coin with our code down in the video description below and our link to support the channel, please. As always, we take a lot of time interviewing resellers and negotiating for the best possible coupon codes for our unique audience. It is a huge classic, cheesy win-win if you support the channel with our links and we support you with the best codes around. So how much does this little thing make? Because it is small. Look at me with the KA Box here. This is a small miner. It is a quiet miner. You can plug this into any outlet in your house. That's how it differs from miner number 1. You need a proper electrical setup for the big industrial sized miners. Check out our full ASIC miner guide to get started on all this stuff. We're also covering detail electricity, but the bottom line is one of the things that makes the KA Box, so these little box miners from Goldshell, so interesting is you could pretty much use any power supply that can support 3 PCIe connections and a consistent 600 watts. For example, like an 850 watt ATX, computer gaming power supply, among many other power supplies we've shown over time. But what do the numbers look like? 1.6 terahash, 600 watts, 10 cents per kilowatt hour, 1% on the fees. We will be mining about 60 coins a day, which is about $7.23. It'll cost us about $1.44 a day to operate, putting $5.79 into our pockets. So let's say we get this in for an all-in price of like $2,500. We would be projected to break even in 431 days with a near silent mining rig. Pretty cool, but not as cool or crazy as miner number 3. Dogecoin mining. If you don't know, Doge is the second most profitable coin to mine in the world, second only to Bitcoin. The third coin is the cryptocurrency we've already talked about twice in this video, which is going to be Kaspa, which is the third most profitable coin to mine. The Bitmain Antminer L9 is getting closer and closer to release. We now have projections that it will start shipping some models out in May. They are looking to crush the AlphaPex DG1 and DG1 Plus miners and truly outdate their previous generation L7 miners. These are, again, full-size miners. You need 220 plus voltage to operate these machines. Just understand and be aware of that. It's not as daunting as it sounds if you're totally new to this stuff, seriously. 17.6 gigahash a second, 16.2 gigahash a second. This is almost twice as good as its predecessor and almost twice as expensive. What's the daily profitability look like? It is projected to mine about $39 a day. And let's put some more realistic numbers in here. With the power consumption, we can see that it will cost about $8 a day to operate, which means that I will be putting about $31 a day into my pocket. A projection of about 0.057 Litecoin and about 222 Doge. And some people will laugh, but I hope I'm actually the one laughing in the end.
You will be laughing still at the end.
But I hope and think that Doge will trade at $1 some point in the not too far future, which would mean that my Dogecoin miners that I have, and I will absolutely be grabbing an L9, will be incredibly profitable machines in retrospect. Who knows? We'll see, but unfortunately, we are in an era where miners are very profitable and they are very expensive, and crypto could still heat up much, much more. And if you're really up to date with crypto mining, you may have heard about the KA Box Pro and the L9, or at least the L9 rumors. I doubt you heard about the Dragonball miner, but I doubt even more so you heard about this $20,000 mining behemoth, the Bombax Miner EZ100. 12,500 mega hash a second, consuming only 2,300 watts. Limited quantity coming out right now, and a pre-order option for the next quarter available. I don't know if you understand that Ethereum Classic is one of the older cryptocurrencies. It produces a lot of money per day, but it's a pretty saturated mining network with a lot of the old overflow of Ethereum miners because Ethereum is no longer mineable. But this machine, even with all that said and in mind, is in an absolute class of its own, earning almost $32 a day in ETC, this Ethereum Classic coin that is easily traded in so many places, costing only $5.52 to run at a 10-cent per kilowatt hour electricity rate, putting $26 of coin in my pocket daily. I will be mining over 1 ETC a day with this. And I literally just got this in. This is not vaporware. I just got one, and I am so excited for it. But it is an absolute behemoth, monster, and very expensive. That's where their EZ100-C becomes much more interesting due to its price point. Yes, still very expensive at a projected $5,500 per machine. It has efficiency either between 0.13 joules of mega hash or 0.18 joules of mega hash. That's also the same as watts of mega hash, which means you compare this to the bigger model, which is 0.18 joules of terahash. This smaller version actually has the capability to be more efficient, and 350 watts as far as a power draw is a whole lot of freaking nothing. That's like running a gaming computer. The smaller one at the normal mode is projected to earn about $8 a day, costing only $1.37 to run, $6.73 in your pocket daily. Furthermore, a critical thing to think about is the less power they use, the less noise they will make, and the less heat they will generate. Noise and heat are going to be things that you have to deal with, and the more miners deployed, well, bigger that problem becomes. Currently, we're evaluating the best routes to get these miners. We have a communication channel open with their manufacturer. But here on screen, you can see some ways to pursue acquiring this miner, and I'll have links out down below to help you speed up that process. The Bombax miners are really miner 4 and 5, but they're so similar, we're just going to count them as number 4. Enter number 5. This is a miner that we did talk about a long time ago. It's gotten a bit of buzz, and I just want to bring it to your attention and share some details on it. This was a miner that came out very early for Kaspa mining and commanded a high price point, depending where you could find it. It was often sold for even $20,000, 10.5 terahash a second, and it consumes about 3,400 watts. Actually, isn't that weird? It sounds just like the Dragonball miner that's coming in at half the price point now, but at a much later date. This came out in 2023. The Dragonball miners, to compare, are new, unproven, and where did they even come from? We're trying to figure out more information on that one in particular. But a key thing to note is going to be that what we have heard is that the Windminer was actually produced by a miner manufacturer called hashaltcoin, which, if you're a long-time crypto miner, you may remember as the manufacturers of the blackminer FPGA miner series, which looks a lot like the Coal Engine P2 now, and the predecessor to that as far as ASIC looking FPGA miners go. But yeah, this is a very profitable machine still. We don't need to plug the specs back in because the specs are simply the same as the Dragonball miner that we looked at earlier. So This thing has been super profitable for a very long time and continues to earn over $40 a day in passive income. And while this may be a miner you have not heard of, that miner in particular is a miner that you should absolutely not pursue. The quality we've heard has been mediocre at best, and now there are many alternatives. Another miner that punches at very similar specs to these is going to be the iBeLink BMKS Max. It comes in at a similar price point of about $10,000, a similar hash rate of about 10.5, as well as a power consumption of 3,400 watts. At least this miner looks different, right? At least we got this thing in a different box. So this is Coin Mining Central, another mining reseller that we have an affiliate link with, and a very strong best-in-class unique coupon code. Some things I think that are cool to see over time is a little bit of the maturing of the space. Like we see that they have introduced a loyalty program and stuff like that is just exciting for me to see. Is I want to see just more reseller support for miners. You can always pursue going direct to miner manufacturers' websites. Just make sure you end up on the right one, because there's a lot of scam sites, a lot of impersonating sites. I mean, literally, like on their banner, they're saying like, hey, watch out for impersonating sites. This is their official site. And we can see on their site that in this scenario, their price is actually worse than if you were to buy it from a reseller. And that's before you punch in some best-in-class coupon codes that I've got, I know, shameless plug, down below. Speaking of other devices that earn huge money that you've probably never heard of, is the just leaked IceRiver KS5M. This is a more powerful KS5L basically at the same power consumption. So this thing's probably pulling about $60 a day in passive income. The KS0 Ultra also leaked. I wouldn't say that this thing earns huge money. It's their next mini miner. At best, it's going to be pulling nearly $2 a day, but it only costs about a quarter a day, 25 cents in electricity to operate at a 10 cent per kilowatt hour electricity rate. Either way, never a dull day in crypto, and even more so in crypto mining lately. The mining market has been moving at an absolute blistering pace. Okay, here's another update. One of the price leaks that we've gotten is that the Ultra will cost around $700 and that the KS5M will cost around $17,000. So it's 17 grand versus 11, 12 grand for the KS5L. The KS5L is a significantly better buy. The KS0 Ultra is interesting at that price point, but it's not even close to as lucrative as the previous models were when they were released. So to round it out, looking at mining profitability, we look at some emission, right? We look at Bitcoin, it's putting out $29 million per day. That is a $1 billion mining industry. We look at Dogecoin, 2 million, Kaspa, 1 million. 2 million and 1 million equate to more than $500 million in coins mined over a year. That is a basically $1 billion industry for both of these, right? And don't forget that Dogecoin is merge mined with Litecoin, so that's another $300,000 of emission daily. Ethereum Classic coming in as number 4 on this list. This list does not have every coin, but it has a lot of them. But coming in at number 4 is Ethereum Classic. So we're not mining obscure coins with these miners you've never heard of. We are mining the second most profitable coin to mine, the third most profitable coin to mine, the fourth most profitable coin to mine, the fifth most profitable coin to mine. We are mining the top coins you can be mining with these devices. Downside, right? Let's call it like it is. These things are expensive. They are absolutely expensive. The average mining rig right now is 5 figures. 4 figures is scary. You used to be able to get a lot of good miners for about $1,000, right? Now there's truly a zero added to the end of that. So I won't go on and on. I'm absolutely enthralled with mining. It's a key thing that we do here. It's been a great endeavor for me personally. And for me, it's kind of about staying the course. It's about not getting emotional. And ideally, it's about being early. Miners that I've got into at the first batch, second batch, third batch have historically done really well. But if a miner came out 6, 7, 8 months ago, it becomes much more risky to get into it, because especially in this era, there always seems to be just something better right around the corner. So that could be true for video. So why don't you subscribe? Thanks for watching. I'll end it on that note. We're gonna close this out in style as we always do here on the Dogecoin YouTube channel with 10 seconds of Tails. She is our Chief Research Officer, our CRO, and yeah, see you on the next one.